You can't have mountains without valleys. The dark is as important as the light. It is in the suffering, the falling, that strength is born.
There is nothing that is so much the very essence of suffering as the fear of suffering itself.
You must dance with pain, not run from it.
Victoria Bina is out for the season due to scoliosis.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, racing fans around the world, the engines are fired, tires are hot. World's best drivers are ready to battle it out. It's time to go racing.
I really don't know why I'm on this journey, but after everything, I know I will have a stronger back.
So first question, you just want to tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Victoria Bina, and I drive the number 2 top junior dragster for PDRA. So I started 6 years ago when I just turned 7, and I have been racing through 1190 all the way up to 890. At that time I was going a little slower, so it wasn't as fast. My first race and whenever I first got on the race car, I will say it was a little nerve-wracking just because it's something completely different, but I knew whenever I stepped in there and buckled up that I wanted to do this. My favorite accomplishment in drag racing was last year getting the PDRA 2023 Rookie of the Year. That was definitely shocking, but I definitely enjoyed that. For race-wise, in 2020 I won the Race of Champions, which that was really one of my first big race that I've won. So that was very emotional, and that was whenever I knew I could really do this competitive.
6 years. 6 years. Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
7. I'm 13.
I gotta get the lap of the
Yes,
pro
ma'am.
stop bike when
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So a couple years ago, we sat down as a family and decided that I wanted to do this as a pro. So right now I'm just working on junior dragsters, and I've been starting to work in a little bit of circle track, gain some car control. So my main goal is to drive NHRA Pro Stock. So I'm gonna work my way up there. I have a small tire car that I'm working on right now, and as soon as I turn 16, 15, I'm gonna get in that. Coming to a race means a lot because this is something I look forward to, I love to do it, and it's something that I can kind of just get my mind off a lot of things, and I love to strap into that car, and even if I go 75 miles an hour, it's definitely fun, and I love to do it. What do I look forward to? Probably getting in the race car and trying to hit that tree perfect. That's one of my main things that I love to do because I push myself to be perfect. So I'll get in my practice car and I'll try to hit that tree as many times as I can and try to make sure I'm ready whenever I come to a race. So whenever I'm at the race, I know I'm ready and I can't wait to be on the track.
Tell me about your surgery. What's it for, and kind of what are you going to do with that?
So I was diagnosed in 2021 with scoliosis, which that is the curvature and rotation of your spine. So a lot of people think it's just where your spine curves, but it actually rotates your ribs.
My name is Arun. I am a pediatric orthopedic and spine surgeon at the Paley Institute, and I specialize in scoliosis and spinal deformity care in children and young adults. I first met Victoria maybe 3 years ago now, and it was at actually my prior practice, and she was one of the first patients I saw there, and she was 9 years old, and even at that time she had a pretty significant scoliosis, and I knew she was a race car driver at the time, and that was an important part of her life, and we talked to the family that this is likely going to need surgery at some point given the magnitude of the curve and how young she is. And she tried various methods of management of her scoliosis and bought about 3 years of time, and obviously has done well with her racing career, and she found us here in West Palm Beach. We met them here, talked about the curve, and obviously she's grown a lot and the curve has gotten much worse.
We found that I already had a 50-degree curve, which is pretty big for a 9-year-old. So we did the data and we caught it way too late. And if we caught it earlier at a 30-degree or a 40, we could have braced it and could have just helped it grow and made sure that I had a straight spine as I got older. I had no family history that had anyone in my family that had this. I didn't even know, quite frankly, how to pronounce the name. So this was all very new to us. We had no clue where this came from, why it came, and we didn't know anything about this. So coming into this, we just took one step at a time, very slow, and let God direct us the entire way. For 3 years, I had to wear a brace for 20+ hours. So as soon as I got back from a race, or really a pass, I would put my brace on, I would do some exercises to try to keep my spine as straight as possible. That limited my entire life between having to take the brace on and off before I get in the car, taking it on and off before I do videos, things like that. And the brace was probably the most limiting part. With the brace, like, they were very bulky, so I couldn't wear tight-fitting clothes, so I always had to wear bulky clothes. So really, whenever I was out in public, it was kind of affected me. Like, I didn't really want to wear it, but I knew I had to.
Because like my shoulders,
I feel like like that. This is now cutting you the wrong way, so this has to be.
But that could be where I was backwards. Yeah, you're right. It could be this one
this,
that's our culprit too, right? Sorry,
But technically, we want this to push you back, but it's a little too short. It needs to maybe
come
open
down
up a little bit more. Okay, so you're gonna use that during your exhale. All right. And it actually keeps you nice and flat here. Okay. Take your rib cage over here. When your rib cage goes, your spine has to go with it. So this is all bone. If I keep bending this way, the ribs are in the way. So the only other thing that the spine can do, it starts rotating that way.
Yeah, prevention is key with scoliosis, and that's always been the biggest part of my advice or my platform in the scoliosis world. If we can catch it early and get her into a brace, or get any patient into a brace and good therapy, then hopefully we can prevent the progression. But that doesn't always work, even with the perfect brace, the perfect therapist. Sometimes the body has a mind of its own, and the curve has a mind of its own, and we do our best to prevent it. But the goal here is to catch it early and treat it early.
So we met with the surgeon early of 2024. And the last visit we had, they said that it's too big, like it can't hold anymore. So then that's when we decided I had to give up this year's championship hunt to really focus on my health. It means a lot because, this is my accomplishments, and being out of this car for 6 months is gonna break my heart. Sorry, hang on. I was a little nervous at first, but now that I've thought about it, I'm more excited than nervous because I won't have to wear a brace anymore. And I'll just be fine. Even if there's a little scar, it's worth it.
So how do you feel? It's your first?
I'm nervous.
Nervous?
Very done soon.
How's it feel?
Weird. You want to go back down? Different.
Ready for a long nap?
So far for her, what we've done is called a halo gravity traction. Her curve had gotten to the point of being nearly 100 degrees, which is pretty severe for a young girl her age. And when we correct scoliosis, it really puts a stretch on the spinal cord, so we don't want to do that too abruptly, which puts her at a much higher risk. So this halo traction is where we attach a ring to her head and slowly add weight to the contraption so that it slowly stretches out her spine, which makes the surgery safer and easier for us in the long run.
You okay? Yes. Wow, good bro. It's amazing. Look at the biggest skin.
So you think everything went well today?
The halo and the fusion go hand in hand. The halo sets us up for a more successful or safe fusion. Not everybody needs a halo, but when your curve gets to a certain degree, it can be very beneficial from both a safety and overall correction standpoint.
I've made it through day 1. It is now day 2. I am in West Palm Beach, Florida at St. Mary's Hospital at the Paley Institute, and I am currently outside after being stuck in ICU for an entire day. It's kind of nice to get some fresh air. And I have been able to move out of ICU and in my own room, and they moved me out of the bed into a wheelchair, which has been kind of nice to sit up straight. So they've already added 12 pounds on the back, which feels a lot different, but I'm telling that my pain's turning on away. And we're hoping that we're up to 40 pounds by the end of my halo. I get my first x-ray done in a couple days, and hopefully we'll see that we're making some pretty good improvement.
So what about the staff and everyone here? How are you being treated?
So far, the staff and all the doctors have been absolutely wonderful, and the worst part was just being stuck in the bed all day yesterday, so it's nice to just move around.
What's it been like working with Victoria?
It's an absolute joy. Everybody loves Victoria, and we all joke around with her how polite she is, and we actually tend to forget that she's only 12 years old, but every time I see her, I'm happy to see her on rounds, and we see her every single day in the hospital, and even when I met her 3 years ago, we knew she was someone special, so it's been nice to see her back here.
All right, so now we're headed outside to the dinosaur garden because I kind of want some fresh air. I've been stuck in the hospital for a few days, and today I'm feeling a lot better. I did my makeup, I got changed, so now I really just want to go outside and maybe just sit down, do some fresh air. Alright, so it is, I think, day 5, and it is pretty nice outside. I am getting so much better. I'm in my walker, walking around. I've met so many great people, nurses, other people on halos, and met so many amazing people that I've become friends with. And it's kind of nice to get outside, get some fresh air, and the weather is absolutely perfect. It's hot, but it's not humid. So I'm really starting to enjoy it here. Yeah, it's been really fun. I've been working on schoolwork, and I don't even feel this anymore. My pain level's gone from 4 to 0 over the period of 5 days. So I'm really happy. So this is called the Dinosaur Garden. There are dinosaurs everywhere, and it's very creative. So this is where I like to come out and spend some time and just chill.
When someone has a curve as big as Victoria's at 100 degrees, it can really start to affect lung and heart function. Hers, thankfully, has not been. And the benefit of this is to stop it from continuing to get worse. And she still has a lot of growth remaining, so we want to get this corrected and stabilized so that she can go on with the rest of her life. And once it's healed and fused, she can do whatever she wants. And typically that healing process can be anywhere from 4 to 6 months. And once it's done, she's good to go and shouldn't need another surgery, if at all, ever.
Right now, I'm outside of St. Mary's Hospital. It is day 8 of being here. day 7 of being in my halo traction, and it is crazy how fast a week has gone by. And you know, my pain is at a 0, which is amazing. I don't even feel the sling anymore, and my back is having so much relief. It is crazy how they can come up with this. I got x-rays done yesterday, and I got the results that this morning I went from a 92-degree curve to a 73-degree curve, which is amazing. Their goal is to have it down to a 60 or even below that, and they'll start to schedule the surgery. So it is scheduled for August 13th, but hopefully that can move up a week. And yeah, so I'm excited. That is definitely a ray of sunshine on this entire journey. So I'm just gonna sit out here, get some fresh air, and enjoy my time. It is day 9 of being in my halo traction. I'm doing pretty good. My spine is moving slowly. Hopefully it'll pick up a little bit more. But right now we're making some amazing progress, and I'm making the best of it. I have made it to my 17th day in my halo traction, and kind of surprising, it does not hurt at all. You know, the first day was the worst, and as time progressed, it got a lot better. So I'm one day closer each day to getting this off and having a straight spine. So I'm very excited for that. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, and getting back into racing. I'm already missing it already. You know, I'm just ready to get this over with. No more bracing, straight spine, taller, and come back even stronger than I was. So there's ups and then there's downs, and you know, not every day is my best day, you know, but it's going pretty good. I'm happy. I'm enjoying it in here. I'm trying to make the best of being in a hospital for 4 weeks. I do get nervous. Now, obviously, I'm a 12-year-old that's going through a major thing in her life, but I do get nervous. But I know I can just put my faith in God, and He's going to protect me all the way through this. So
she's been in this for almost 3 weeks now and has really tolerated adding the weight, and she's gone up to 30 pounds hanging off of her head, and she's tolerating it like a champ and getting geared up for surgery. The next is the big event. It's the spinal fusion surgery, where we take the effects of what the halo gravity traction gave us and stretching her out and get her to the operating room and do the definitive surgery, which is to put screws and rods and correct the scoliosis as much as safely possible and get her back to life. Surgery has risks that are inherent, and spine surgery is typically more risky than any other procedure we do, and it has gotten much safer in the last even 5 years. The main risks with this are chance of the screws or rods not holding or the fusion not taking place and having to have another surgery. Of course, with any surgery, there are risks of infection and anesthesia and wound healing complications, but in a young patient who's healthy and has done well, that's exceedingly rare. The biggest thing for her is to keep an eye on everything until the fusion takes.
They said about January I can get back in the race car, and that'll be about a few months afterwards, but I'm just going to try to push myself to see if I can get in any earlier.
Our goal here is to 100% eventually get her back into racing and into the race car. The beauty of the technology we have and the way we do these surgeries is that it really doesn't limit children or young adults in any way. They continue living their lives and doing what they're passionate about, in this case, you know, race car driving for Victoria. So the typical time to return to activity is about 6 months after surgery, and that can vary depending on the patient and the number of levels you do. But once she's done, she's going to be sitting taller and straighter, and she should be back and faster and better than ever.
I'm definitely looking forward to after the surgery because, one, I'll be 4 inches taller, I'll be in a new race car, and I will be moving up to the 790 class. So looking towards all of that, I'm very excited just to get it done and over with, and I'm looking at next year. On that early August morning, I don't remember a thing, but my parents said that that was the longest 7 hours they have ever waited. And I woke up surrounded by my nurses and my surgeons and my family to find out that everything went successful. And with the back surgery, spinal fusion, it's one of the trickiest surgeries out there, and not every single one goes successful. So that was very emotional and happy for my entire family. And these 2 rods right here are what are in my back, 2 rods of titanium and about 30 screws. This was an extra set that my surgeon had that he didn't need and decided to give them to me so I could remember that these are what is in my back. And after 5 days after the surgery, I was cleared to go home. After the 2 weeks, I started to do everything gradually, started to go back to physical therapy, starting to gain, my balance back. And now 6 months later, I can do almost anything, no limits. I have no hesitations, and I am back to normal. I'm Victoria Wiener. I am out at the 2024 PRI show here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am now 4 months post-op for my spinal fusion. I'm super excited to be here with fans and sponsors, so follow me around. Now, after the fusion, I haven't found anything so far to limit me. I have been getting in and out of my junior dragsters. I have been in and out of my micro sprint, and I just recently went indoor skydiving. So far it hasn't limited anything afterwards. Before, it limited a lot between braces and physical therapy, but I'm happy I did the spinal fusion when I did it and who I did it with. We are out at the Hangsters booth number 5706. Make sure to come out and say hi. I'm going to be here 1 to 2 with Antron Brown and Jail Sampay out here signing autographs. Come by and say hi.
So now what do you drive now? Do you still drive a junior?
So I still drive a junior. I'm also doing in a micro sprint, which is on dirt.
Yeah.
So I go in the circles on dirt.
So how old are you?
I'm 13.
13.
Yes, ma'am.
My daughter drove a junior from the time she was 7. And
I started at 7.
Yeah, and she's 19, so she aged out of her junior.
Okay.
Decided just to be done with racing for a while. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably be done in the next few years and get into a door car.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Well, good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So last year in 2023, I was running with the PDRA and Chop Junior, and I was having a great year, and it come down to the last few races where I was in the lead for the points by, I'm pretty sure, 1 point at the last race. So both the guy that's right on my back and I was right there leading, he went out in the semifinals here for the World Finals, and I was like, this is my time. But unfortunately, I went out the same round. But I lost the championship by 3 points, which is just enough for qualifying. But I had a good year last year. I got the Sportsman Rookie of the Year, and that's where, coming into this year, I really wanted that championship. I am at Galot Motorsports Park for the East Coast Nationals for the first PDRA race of the season. It feels super good to be back in the car. I'm now running my junior dragster and my micro sprint. I've had a couple tumbles in my micro sprint and wasn't even sore the next day. So I'm now back to racing, feeling good, no pain, and I can basically do anything. It feels really good to be back to the racetrack. Knowing going into the PDRA Pro Stars, that was going to be my last race in my 890 class. Wasn't too mad about that, now that I'm going into 790, but it feels really good to be back and see everyone I've missed for quite a while, 6 months, 7 months. So it's really good to be back to the racetrack. I'm feeling amazing and can't wait to see where this year goes. My main goal with scoliosis is to raise awareness because, we caught mine too late. It formed in a 6-month period, and we have found data to prove that. So we caught it too late, and that's where I don't want anybody to go through this that I've been going through. if you're wearing a brace and you're in with the scoliosis, put all of your effort into it. I did, but like I said, we got it too late, so nothing would work. But with the scoliosis fusion, it's gonna be totally worth it. I'll be straight, I'll be taller, and I won't have to wear a brace again.
In the end, it's not just about what was endured, but what was overcome. Every challenge, every setback, every quiet moment of doubt, they became the sparks that lit the way forward. This story is a reminder that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the silent choice to keep going, to rebuild, to rise. Because the truth is, it's not about how the story started. It's about how you choose to finish it.
As I close, if I can help someone to encourage them throughout their journey to be strong, push through, and never ever give up, then my journey was well worth it.